Scientists working on groundbreaking research to help find forgotten foods that could be grown in extreme climates have been given royal approval. Prince Charles launched the Forgotten Foods Network when he visited Crops for the Future, a partnership between the University of Nottingham and the Government of Malaysia, that researches underutilized crops. The network is designed to collect and share information on foods and recipes from all over the world that have been forgotten in recent decades. Experts calculate that around 95% of what we eat comes from only 30 species of plants and animals. Four basic crops, wheat, maize, rice, and soybean, are the source of more than half of our food. But rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns are making soils less fertile and supplies of these basics less secure. So scientists at CFF want to rediscover and reintroduce less fashionable foods, crops, fruits or vegetables, that could replace them. The university, that's one of Nottingham's best-known exports. They quote the example of high-protein quinoa, which was previously only grown, as a grain, in the highlands of Peru. After research, planting and promotion in the 1990s, it is now a popular healthy option around the world. During his visit to CFF, Prince Charles saw researchers testing drought-tolerant Bambara groundnut seeds as flavoring for Italian biscuits and traditional cakes. Prince Charles is shown nutritious new superfoods being developed at the Crops for the Future project. He was also told about their experiments with leaves from the moringa tree, one of the most nutritious plants in the world, creating dishes ranging from soups to burgers. Also on display was a plate of tortellini made with the exotic and highly nutritious dragon fruit. The prince has a long-standing and well-known interest in global food issues. In a video message prior to his visit, he said it is essential we capture knowledge about forgotten foods, crops and animal sources, and act on this information before it is lost forever. We must move beyond the business-as-usual approach of relying on monocultures of major, well-known crops, and invest in agricultural diversity, which can not only help sustain agriculture, but also feed and nourish our growing population. Prince Charles launches the Forgotten Foods Network at the Crops for the Future project, with Professor Savia Dazomali, chief executive of CFF. Scientists believe there are thousands of nutritious forgotten foods around the world that could be rediscovered and used to help make our meals more interesting and more sustainable. The Forgotten Foods Network hopes to hear from people who ate forgotten foods decades ago, when modern replacements, including processed foods such as sandwiches, beef burgers or fizzy drinks, were not readily available. Forgotten foods may be seasonal crops that have stopped being grown, or nutritious foods that are no longer fashionable with families who live in big cities, rather than villages or small towns. Prince Charles drops in at Nottingham University campus in Malaysia. CFF Chief Executive Professor Savia Dazomali, who established the Tropical Crops Research Unit at Nottingham's Sutton Bonington campus in the 1980s, said we need to put nutrition at the heart of our food systems. The Forgotten Foods Network can help identify foods that feed the future. The traditional foods and crops that our ancestors ate could play a vital role, especially in the unpredictable and vulnerable climates of the future. Prince Charles at the Crops for the Future project, which is a partnership between the University of Nottingham Malaysia campus and the Malaysian government. The first two submissions to the Forgotten Foods Network were from CFF researchers who remembered a watermelon salad and a finger millet bread that were popular with their families when they were children. The Forgotten Foods Network wants people from all over the world, including Nottingham, to submit their stories about foods and recipes they remember to its website at http://www.forgottenfoodsnetwork.org. CFF was set up in 2011 by the Malaysian government and the University of Nottingham, with funding to last until 2017. It is based in a series of huge domes filled with tropical plants, adjacent to the University of Nottingham Malaysia campus, near Kuala Lumpur. The extent of Nottingham's future involvement will be decided soon. It is understood that CFF needs £24 million to keep running for the next 6 years.